But I'm honored to be here, and I want to ask for your support and your partnership as we work to dramatically improve the quality of education in our country. I think everyone here realizes that in parts of the communities, education is really a crisis point. We have a 25% dropout rate in this nation. That's about 1 million young people leaving our schools for the streets each year. We know there are no good jobs, none, in the legal economy for high school dropout. In far too many of our African American Latino communities, that dropout rate is 40, 50, 60%. So that has to change. In one generation, we got from first in the world in college graduates to ninth. Other countries out-educating us, and then we wonder why we struggle economically. And even in these tough economic times and high unemployment rates, we have about 2 million high-skilled, high-wage jobs that are unfilled in this country. And we as educators aren't producing the knowledge workers those companies need and want. They want to keep jobs in the country. And so we have to look in the mirror, and we have to do better. And as you said, so Dr. in the introduction, I see this in two lights. First, I absolutely see this as a civil rights issue of our generation. That if we fail to educate, we perpetuate cycles of poverty and social failure. And if you can ride in the front of the bus and you can't read, you can't get a good job, you're still not truly free. And in my mind, the dividing line in this country today is less around race and class than it is around educational opportunity. Giving the poorest child from the toughest neighborhood and the toughest family, or put that young child in a great early childhood program, put them in a great elementary school where they can take algebra in 8th grade, put them in a high school where they can take AP classes and college level classes, and guess what? I'm very, very optimistic about that young person's future. Or put that same child in a mediocre early childhood program, put them in the elementary school with expectations, put them in a high school with a 50-60% dropout rate, and guess what? We're part of the problem. So this is the dividing line that we have to get past. We have to get past with the greatest sense of urgency we've ever had. And secondly, it's not just the civil rights issue of our generation, there's an economic imperative. There are no good jobs out there today in this economy for high school dropout, none. So how do we get better? How do we educate our way to a better economy? It takes a cradle-to-career continuum strategies. For me, it starts with early childhood education. We have to get our babies off with this stuff. Our 3-year-olds, our 4-year-olds. I'm tired of some children entering kindergarten, reading already, fluent in literacy, and other children entering kindergarten who don't know the front of the book and the back of the book. How does the best kindergarten teacher in the world teach those wide disparities and good levels come in? It's not fair. We have to stop playing catch-up, and we have to close achievement gaps. And it has to start with our babies. The current law of the land, no child left behind, is fundamentally broken. We want to work with Congress to fix it. Congress is a little bit dysfunctional right now. We're going to work directly with the state. We're going to do it ourselves. Just trying to tell the truth. We have to challenge everybody to get outside their comfort zones and behave in different ways, to challenge the status quo with us. First and foremost, we have to challenge our young people. I'm so glad to see so many young people with us here tonight. The most important thing you can do, your job today, is to get a great education. And nobody can do that for you. You have to commit to getting your education. There is nothing out there if you don't have that. And the harder you work, the better you do, the more doors are going to open for you. But if you slack off, if you follow the wrong peer pressure, if you get caught up in the streets, not much is going to be out there positive for you. As the President said, if you drop out of high school today, you're not just giving up on yourself, you're giving up on your family, your country. You can't afford to do that. You have to get that dropout rate down to 0 as fast as you can. So to all our young people here, get a great education. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody tell you what you can't do. Work hard. Good things will happen for you. So our parents, we have a lot of parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles here tonight. We need to be strong. We need to be parents. Turn off those TVs at night. Turn off those video games. I know we thought we were a little bit crazy. When we were growing up, we didn't have a TV in the house. Didn't have that. I just had to stay at my friend's house once in a while to watch the ball game. But every single night our parents read to us. And what they did with me and my sister and brother, they instilled in us a love of learning, a love of reading. We tried to perpetuate my wife and I with our young children. Parents today, you can't just be your child's friend. You gotta be their parent. They didn't want They might want a pair of Jordans. They need books. They need education. And we got to set priorities. And I can continue to challenge parents not to just be a best friend. Be a parent. Instill values. Be a leader. Be willing to say no to your child. Be willing to have a curfew. If your school has a discipline code, as parents sign a contract, sign it willingly. Don't go find the school. Be part of the solution. And so we have to ask our parents to do more behavior. To our teachers, I have to challenge our teachers to never give up on a child. And we have far too many teachers and principals who in their heart, I'm not sure they really believe that children of color, children of poverty can be very, very successful. Schools should be open 12, 13, 14 hours a day. GED classes, ESL, family literacy nights, family counseling, whatever it might be. When those schools are truly the hearts of the neighborhood, hearts of the community, where families are learning together, guess what? Those children will do just fine. But if those schools are open 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, 9 months out of the year, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. We have to change how we behave. Our school calendar is based upon the agrarian economy. How many children are working in the fields in some today? Our schools need to be open 6, 7 days a week, 12, 13 hours a day, 11, 12 months out of the year. Why are we still in the 19th century model trying to prepare students for 21st century skills? And as much as challenging everybody else, we have to look at the mirror here, the federal government. I think for far too long, my department's been part of the problem, not part of the solution. So we're trying to change our behavior in very significant ways. We're trying to tell the truth. When we're seeing great success, we're going to celebrate that. But when folks aren't doing the right thing, we have to call it out. We see a state like Texas, a recent study came out where they were arresting or suspending or expelling 50% of their young people, 75% of their African American students, 75% of students with disabilities. Well, that's the fashion to prison pipeline right there. And are we preparing our students to be successful, to be productive citizens? Or are we preparing to lock them up in the back end? And we have to do everything in our power to challenge that. My office, our office, civil rights, whatever we have to do to get folks to change that behavior. Make sure we work with children. Don't push them out the streets. Don't suspend them. Don't call the police. Don't lock them up. But work with them. These are good kids. They need help. They need support. We have to tell the truth in part of the ways we haven't done before. We have to elevate the teaching profession. I think our teachers are desperately underpaid in our country. Teachers and educators have been beaten down, they've been disrespected. As I look at high-performing countries around the world who are out-educating us today, it's doctors, lawyers, engineers, and teachers, all the same status. Somehow we've walked away from that. We used to revere our educators. Somehow we've lost that. And finally, I want to challenge all of you to go ahead and talk about here. I want to challenge all of our churches. So if your churches are open on Sundays, but they're closed Monday through Saturday, that's part of the problem. Your doors have to be open. We all have to partner. We all have to work in very different ways. You guys are amazing community anchors, spiritual leaders, moral leaders. But we need your presence. We need you out there. The gang members, they're out there 24/7. Rain, shine, unemployment waiting. And they identify, they pick off those children who don't have the support structures. They outwork us, they outsmart us, they're more strategic than us, and then we wonder why children go the wrong way. That's never a choice. No child wakes up saying, I want to go that path. That's the only path they see. They don't see an alternative. We've got to provide that together.